Hey YouTube, this is The Art of Prepping, just doing a small recap on food storage video series that I just did. I just got thinking about it that for the new person, it still may have been a little bit confusing and maybe just a little long-winded. So I just wanted to say, if you're just starting out, just add a little extra to your checkout. Double up if you can on your groceries until you get the amount, even if you can only get maybe an extra 3 or 4 canned goods each trip of the foods that you typically already eat and do eat. You just do that until you get the amount that starts to satisfy your requirements for the minimum food storage. And then you build from there. And if that needs to be including some type of more exotic survival food, quote unquote, such as a higher dollar, freeze dried or dehydrated foods, then so be it. But for most new preppers, though, the vast majority of this, starting out for your first month or two of supplies, should just be things that you can get at the grocery store. There's no reason to have to drop, large amounts on so-called, survival food kits or all these exotic types of foods. And as we talked about before, you get more diversity when you piece it together yourself and you get exactly what you want. They're not going to have the specific type of ravioli that you may like, with these food kits. It's better for you just go ahead and just go out and get it. And then when you get these items, they typically, especially the canned goods, as we discussed, have a 2 to 5 year shelf life in real life. And you can just rotate those through your pantry and just put the newest cans in the back and then the oldest in the front, and you just eat on them a little bit throughout the year, and you just replace them as you eat them. And that's just by far the easiest way to do this. Um, Things don't have to be complicated. And, food storage, it can be a daunting task at first. But, all in all, though, we're just talking about having a reservoir of resources in these videos that I'm doing. And food is no exception. And so you just want to make it simple. And simple is going to be taking what you eat and just storing that. There's not going to be any magic way of doing this. For those who do not want to just double up on their groceries or just grab an extra few items and just do this slowly over a few months, and that they're just set on getting a kit or something, just remember to look at the calories once again. Make sure you have enough calories and nutrients. You still probably would want to, add a few extra things in, to kind of jazz it up, such as, maybe granola bars or your favorite types of, beans or rice for that matter. And that kind of just comes into the conclusion, though, that dried goods, if stored properly, okay, have a very substantial shelf life. That can be very much compared to dehydrated and freeze-dried foods, and this is something that if it's not properly stored, though, it can go bad within a few years. There's just no doubt about it. But dried goods, if you can keep it in a cool, dark place, and if you keep it sealed and keep the oxygen out, and there's no moisture, they can last 25, 30 years. It's best to take them out of the original packaging and reseal them. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. Feel free to research that on Google. One means, and just one option, is that you can put them into Mylar bags. There's oxygen absorbers, and you can purge the air as best you can, and take an iron and seal the bag. These are metallized, metallic type of bags, and put them in like 5-gallon buckets, and then you can seal the buckets. That will really extend the life of this ordinary dried food: beans, rice, lentils, peas, and so forth. And that is by far the cheapest and probably one of the more healthiest ways to do all this, if you really want to get down to brass tacks. But that's obviously maybe more of a mid to longer term type of solution for the prepper, especially the new prepper and the budget strap prepper. In the meantime, though, you definitely want more foods that are ready to eat, that don't require soaking and long cook times. So, you're going to have, dried foods in the terms of like beef jerky or, your fruits, and of course your dried nuts that can be eat, immediately, and they're readily available for you. Just as having some prepackaged items that are more healthy, granola bars or even trail mix or whatever you eat, and then canned goods. There's a lot of canned goods that are just, you don't even have to warm up. So there's a lot of options there, and you can build up a very substantial, pantry to get over most obstacles just by layering with 2, 3, or 4 different types of foods, and then in conjunction with a small garden or a small chicken coop, um, and maybe a few fruit trees and a few nut trees mixed in with sprouting, and in combination, you can build up maybe even a dozen different sources of food or food types if you just get creative. And that's what the point of the videos were, just to try to think outside the box. So these are just some recap ideas from the series of food storage that I did. And thanks for all your comments, and for the spreading the word about my channel. And thanks for watching.